everybody. I'm Kelly Ellers.
I'm Jeffrey London.
And this is Volume Up by the Tees. Jeffrey, whew, you've had a roller coaster. I feel like
We switched gears a little bit because you were traveling.
Let's make this about me first.
Yes, please.
I was in LA, bopped back over to New York for a little coffee meeting, in, out, did that thing. And now you were traveling. It's time for you now.
Doing a little beep bopping. Last week was busy because there was the duck with the feet under the water kind of thing happening. Trying to lock some stuff in because this week we had our first ever cover shoot for something that is very exciting. The Tease is coming to print. We are going to have a print issue. It'll be a biannual publication. The first one is launching very soon. I don't want to jinx anything, so I'm not going to say exactly when at this point.
You're keeping that in?
Yeah, we're going to keep that in.
Wow.
I'm just in case, I mean, in the state of printing, who knows?
Who knows? The printer could go down.
That's what I'm just going to say that out loud. I don't want that for us. I'm not manifesting it. But we did have a cover shoot. So we were in LA, literally across the street from where I used to live a million years ago.
That's right. At Heroin Salon.
Yep, at Heroin Salon with Janine Jarman for Pure Brazilian. So excited about the images that we were able to capture. We also have tons of behind the scenes stuff that we will be able to post eventually, but not until you see these damn images. So yeah, that was a lot of fun, a lot of work. Shout out to the entire team. Again, Janine, Jamie Cavanaugh, who was our makeup lead. Just so excited. Yeah, that was a big, long day. And then I followed it up by driving myself all over LA proper, the valley, and all the way down.
Did you physically drive yourself, or did somebody drive you?
Somebody drove me. I could not. I mean, at this point, I don't know how I did.
I don't either. When I was in LA, I was like, I flew into Burbank, which was like 8 miles from where I was going, and it was like an hour to get there. And I was I quit. I'm walking. I'm getting out.
Yeah, no, I really did a number. I was in North Hollywood, and then I was in Culver, so it was like,
that's like ends of the earth. Ends of the world.
This is true. But I saw Labo Beauté Salon, which just opened in LA. That is a new luxury nail salon. Got to tour that space. Had it all to myself, which was incredible. They cleared out some clients, which was very generous of them. They did?
Wow. Did you get your nails did?
I didn't want to impose. Although maybe I should have. I did.
It looked fantastic.
It was very cool. I mean,
insane.
Go to our socials, you'll see it on the site soon. We are doing a Q&A with founders. And then I also went over to a barber shop from a number of friends that I've made over the years as barbers, working at other places, I'll say. Won't name names. They've gone it on their own. And so, I met up with Eric, who's got his own shop in Culver. Saw Yvonne and a number of, it was, so
you were you were editor-in-chiefing hard.
We were. Doing stuff for the Tees all over the place, specific to LA. We totally switched roles. It was like a Freaky or Friday situation. The fun thing about Labo Beauté, and I hope that I don't get anybody in trouble, there was a receptionist who referred to the aesthetic as if Batman had a wife. And if you go to our social and look at that tour, you will agree with her. She's a 10 out of 10, correct.
What if I want to be Batman's wife?
I mean, there you go.
Wait a second. But can you give everyone a little sneak peek at what that means? Like, give me 3 adjectives.
I think Batman is because it looks like the Bat Cave.
Yeah, but
like luxe, lime wash. Like it's like a inverse of, but it's really is. So when she said it, I was like, oh, yeah. No, I cannot see it. And there's crystals, like very large crystals, so it sort of gives the stalagmite effect,
Okay, here's a dumb question. Did Batman have a wife?
I don't think so. I don't think he ever marries. I mean, I'm sure there's probably some comic book from some decade where maybe he did bite the bullet and
I thought
married. Yeah, he's got
girlfriends.
Plenty of girlfriends.
This wasn't Batman's wife. It was Batman's girlfriend's salon. Maybe. Maybe. Savage. All right. Yeah. Anyway. Catwoman. Catwoman. Meow. All right, Jeff, we got to get serious here. Okay.
Yep.
We got to get into our celeb photos of the week. And the first one up is none other than Alva Claire. And this is a really interesting look. We've got some really tight, some tight curls. Remember? You don't remember. I remember back when you wanted the curls and like you had those little pink spongy curl things that you had clipped together and it was a tight one. That's what's happening with this look and the bangs.
Yeah. Tight ringlet bangs.
It's too tight for me.
Too tight. Okay. And it's also, I mean, slicked back in the back into a tiny little sort of curled pony, which is, it's interesting from the side. I think that I like this look more than you like it. I think
so.
The context, she's at the Acne Studios show. So it's like very,
fair.
I think like appropriate for.
On brand.
Yeah, for that look. So I'm going to say it's like an 8 or a 9.
Damn.
Yeah, I like it. I feel like, why not? Like, let's
get those little
executed
spongy
poorly.
It's not.
It's just, it's different. And I'm saying in a good way. So
it's different in a good way for you.
8.
Here's the thing. This is like childhood stylist
trauma.
childhood stylist mom trauma dumping. And I would curl my hair and she would be like, Kel, like separate the curls. And so this is
that's
like,
all you want to do is
I hear her just chirping and I can't. So this is a 2 for me. Boop bop. Let's move on.
All right.
Next up is Muni Long.
So she's here at the iHeartRadio Music Awards ? I don't know what the actual event is. And she was doing a tribute to Mariah Carey. She's being dragged online because there's video of her singing We Belong Together, which is an iconic song, and maybe Mariah not loving her rendition.
How do we know she didn't like it?
There's some cues. Like there's some body language experts I think have weighed in.
Okay, just like
so I think it's money. I don't know if it's Muni. It's one of these names where I never say it out loud.
Okay,
but at any rate,
spelled Muni.
Yes. So somebody can correct us, I'm sure. The look. Tell me about the look. What is the hair doing?
Yeah, the hair is in a pretty tight, I want to say, pulled back, swept back beehive. Is that kind of like a little swoopy beehivey thing?
It's like a French roll.
French twisty. Yeah. And then we've got a side bang that's coming to the side. And I don't know. Swoopy. I mean, I guess she's channeling Mariah. And I got to believe that Mariah had a look like this back in the day. No.
I think it's a weird ass.
It's not great for 2025. It's not great. That's not great.
What do you think?
I'm going to give it a 2 again. I'm going to go total haterville again, 2.
Okay. Wow. I'm less hating. I think it's maybe mostly because I saw so many French twists and like variations of it at Fashion Week. So I think it's interesting to see like it's coming to the red carpet. So like maybe we'll see it in real life. It's definitely glam. So I like that. Glam. Like it, and again, in terms of execution, like we know that this required a lot of skill to get it to do a lot of what it's doing. I think it's like a 6 or 7.
Okay.
I'm just saying for me though, it's not giving Mariah.
Yeah,
and I think
it's not.
Weird. It's
not giving Mariah. No, not giving.
All right.
Okay, last one up. This is a shocker. We got a little JoJo Siwa up in here. She's also at the iHeart. We got a lot of her up in here. And she, to me, is channeling the wigs from Bridgerton, like with the clock moving in the wig thing.
That's generous of you, Kelly.
I mean, it's absolutely tragic, her look.
Yeah.
And can I say this, but I don't like JoJo Siwa.
I don't think that I think most people are in that camp.
I think like we did the thing with the mask, with the stars on the face, whatever it was, and she needs to put that era behind her.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, the look, hopefully we can get a pic of it. Like it's a sort of very sculptural wig that's like ill placed on her head.
It's not great.
Like we have like a 2 head. And then there's like these tendrils that are giving like Lord of the Rings. And then there's this shape. There's like hanging crystals and shit. I just like I know what she was trying to do,
You
and I
do? What?
like get us to talk about it. I just like this is
Yeah,
gross. Like this
it's
is
just
like
bleh,
you're an asshole.
bleh.
This is like the whole team should be
This is
fired.
an
This
asshole
is
move.
yeah, it's disrespectful. Like it's what are we doing? Um like she knows like this is awful. So, whoever we're being told to say that maybe the person that did it is talented, I'm gonna say
Ooh,
like maybe in terms of like the literal construction of the shapes.
yeah.
But like this wig looks like garbage and it's like fitted over the mat. Like it's I'm so sort of taken aback by the
And
horrendous hair.
why do we need the glitter across the eyes? And then we've got the bedazzled jean jacket. And anyway, this is too much for us. This is a zero.
Yeah.
Zero.
Yeah,
Just a
it's
zero.
like a negative. And I don't even mean that like like I'm not hot. It's bad. Like it's this is garbage. So, Jojo, maybe
Ooh,
sit it out.
boop, boop. Why is she there? Okay, anyway, we
I mean,
digress.
yeah. Because she to do this, to get them some, and I just
Yeah,
no,
and
I
look at
don't, I'd
us. We
rather
fell
not.
into the
I
trap. We're
know
talking about
we
her, and
did.
here we are. So
Yep.
anyway,
All right. Well, let's move
let's
on
move
to
on.
things. Yeah, these are things that we don't need to do. Those we're done with that. We're
We're done.
interested in this next thing. Things that are sort of the top stories right now. So there's some things happening in our space. Something that's actually been featured on Hello Salon Pro, which is the launch of
Ba-bum-ba-da. Yeah.
the launch of Cloud by Carolyn Aronson. Tell me a little bit about what she's up to with this brand.
She's always got her hands in something. So, I mean, in 2006, she obviously launched It's a 10. We all need it. We all need it. We want it, the Miracle Leave-In Spray. But this year, she's expanding her empire with Cloud Hair Care, which is focused on Gen Z shampoo, conditioner, styling products, 2 collections. It's at a price point, $11.99, CVS, Walmart, direct to consumer. And, I've got to say, she puts a lot of time and effort and thought into what she's doing, and I'm sure this is going to be a hit. I don't think she I don't think
Misses?
she allows a miss.
I was gonna
I
say
don't think
no.
she
I don't
allows
think
it.
so. And based on
Mm-mm.
the reaction to subscribers of the Hello Salon Pro box, Cloud is a big hit with
Yeah.
pros. So we'd love to see that. Very excited, and I hear that Carolyn may be joining us on the pod at some point to talk about this. So we'll see. And someone just told me that it will be featured in this month's box alongside a number of other products from her various brands, which is incredibly exciting. So I mean, you've got your opportunity to try these products out. Go to the
Head on over to the
tease.shop.
teas.
I was gonna say, if you're
Yeah.
not doing it
Shop.
already, subscribe to Hello Salon Pro, the
I
tease.shop.
mean,
Boom.
incredible. Every month. All right. This just in. The Olsen twins are back at it. And the Olsen dip is the hair trend revival that the boho girls need and love, according to Glamour magazine. Jeff, do you know what the Olsen dip is?
I mean, I think I can sort of guess,
I don't
right?
think their hair has ever changed.
That
Ever.
that
Ever.
you're nailing it. Also like it's sort of interesting. So they're famous for the boho of it all,
For
but
sure.
have obviously evolved into the fashion powerhouses that they are with the
Yeah.
row, which is sort of more minimalist, not boho. The boho Olsen dip, like grown out color, where it
Yeah.
doesn't ever look like it's been touched up, um, sort of is in alignment with what we're seeing online about recession hair color, though. So
Yes.
it's like this
Right.
weird they are known for like the top income bracket and catering to the, but then the hair is, yeah. So I don't know. Interesting time that
It's high
we're,
low, right?
yeah,
I mean,
very much.
yeah. And I gotta tell you, I love it. I mean, I love a root smudge with
Hmm.
the grown out. I mean, I
Hmm.
don't do it because my hair is super dark. Like, I don't
There's
think
no
it could
smudge.
get darker.
Yeah.
There's no smudging here. But I think it's beautiful. I think it looks sun-kissed. I think it looks effortless. I think they could probably put a curling iron through their hair a little bit, just a little bit.
There's
But other
that.
than that, I like it.
Show off
I'm
that
here for
cover.
the dip.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's get into it. This week, we're talking with Shab Caspara. Shab is a board-certified trichologist and expert on healthy hair growth and scalp wellness. She's the founder of Leona.co, the first concierge hair growth retail platform featuring products and devices from around the world. As a member of the American Hair Loss Council, she continues to discover the latest developments and research in the hair growth space. And I loved this interview. I haven't been able to stop thinking about one of the things we're going to talk about in this interview. How's that for clickbait?
Wow.
Boom.
Okay. I see you.
All right.
So before we get to our interview, we're going to do this little segment we've been doing, If They Were a Hairstyle. So every week we're asking whomever interviewed the subject, what would their hairstyle be based on the personality, what you guys talked about? So Kelly, what would Shab be if she were a hairstyle?
Shab is absolutely stunning. And I've got to believe that she would just be a long, layered, beautiful color. And she has a mane of hair, which is so fitting considering her specialty. And so I'm just saying long, layered bombshell.
Okay, I see it. I'm into it. Hopefully not offended like previous guests. We don't intend to offend here. We're just
there's
trying
no
to...
offense here. She's stunning. So anyway, that's where we're at. Make sure that you subscribe, rate, and review, and follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and TikTok at Read the Tease, and send in questions to volumeup@thetease.com.
Before Kelly's interview with Shab, we're going to talk Tease beauty news. I've got an article that just hit the site. It is entitled, "The Beacon Class of 2025 is Here." The Professional Beauty Association has announced the Beacon Class of 2025, the newest group of emerging talent poised to shape the future of the industry. The Beacon program is a transformative initiative by PBA that provides students with an unparalleled opportunity to connect with industry leaders and mentors. Head to thetease.com to see who made the list, and congratulations to them. Let's just say that. Got some exciting news about this, which is that the Tease will be at Beacon this year. So not only are we thrilled for them as we sort of get going towards the event, but we'll be there in person, and we're going to meet a number of the Beacon Class of 2025 in some breakout sessions, which we're really excited about.
Congrats to everyone. All right, the February 25 Indie Edit, the indie launches that have us green with envy. Indie Beauty continues to deliver some of the most innovative, exciting, and boundary-pushing products in the industry. This Indie Edit is packed with launches that embrace bold color, unexpected textures, creativity. Whether you're looking for multi-dimensional shimmer, otherworldly glow, or cult favorites in expanded shades, this month's selection has something for every indie beauty enthusiast. From glitter-packed lip balms to mesmerizing Medusan highlighters and a nail polish collection inspired by romantasy, these launches prove once again why indie beauty is where true artistry thrives. Head to thetease.com to find out what will have you feeling absolutely green with envy. We brought it all the way back around,
Boom.
Jeff.
You really did.
Damn. All right. Do you have a favorite? Because these are otherworldly.
I mean, this is so Marshall brought us an indie edit we talked about featuring some mushrooms the last time.
Indeed, yeah.
There's nothing that is, I think, akin to that in this this edit. Although there is some mushroom imagery in some of the stuff that I'm seeing here. I don't know. I feel like the nail polishes from Light's Lacquer, there was a couple of really pretty shades that are sort of, as he says, shimmery, glittery. I kind of like the idea of that for spring. What about you? Anything that you thought? No. Okay.
No. You know what? I'm not otherworldly color gal.
I see.
I don't like shimmer, and I don't like glitter. So...
Wow, not for you. This edit is not for you. Got it. Okay. It's clear. Thank you so much to our contributors and editors for this week's beauty news. And don't forget to check out more stories like these over on thetease.com.
Now stay tuned for my interview with Shab. Shab Caspara is a board-certified trichologist and expert on healthy hair growth and scalp wellness. She is the founder of Leona.co, the first concierge hair growth retail platform featuring products and devices from around the world. She is featured in Forbes, Vogue, Women's Health, Allure, Prevention, and Cosmopolitan as one of the most recognized trichologists in New York City. She is a consultant, speaker, and advisor across the beauty, cosmetics, and hair industry and has worked on the relaunch of HairClub, the launch of Inkey List, Augustinus Bader, and Moroccan Oil's Scalp Care collections. She is on the review board of Birdie.com and a member of NewBeauty Magazine's Brain Trust. She continues to be a judge for CEW Beauty Awards 2 years in a row, and as a member of the American Hair Loss Council, she continues to discover the latest developments and research in the hair growth space. Cool. Well, let's get into it. I'm super excited to hear all about you. Let's start from the beginning. So you mentioned to me that your mom was a salon owner and school owner in Toronto. Tell me about how that impacted your passion for hair health, which we're going to get into today.
I guess it all started with just falling in love with the hair industry in general and like watching my mom's passion for it really inspired me to want to like follow her footsteps and be able to do something that I loved also.
That's so cool. I feel like once it's in your blood, it's hard to knock it out, right?
For sure. And it's like, and as a kid growing up, it's such a glamorous space and
Yes.
fun and like,
Everyone feels great when they leave. I mean, it's an
yeah.
interesting part of our industry. It's like all of the pros just want to make people feel beautiful. And that's a rarity. I mean, think of what other industry is your sole mission to make people feel as good as they can in a 1 to 3 hour time frame.
Yeah, right. Like you said, made people feel so good and happy. And it was always like a warm, happy environment, right?
Mhm.
Very loving. And so I really looked up to that. And I think hair health, like aside from the fact that hair was always my world in my life, hair health for me stemmed from the fact that I was an athlete growing up.
Ah,
I was a figure skater,
ah,
competitively figure skated. And when you're in that world, you're learning about nutrition and diet and exercise. You're taking really good care of your body, your mind, and all that. So from a very young age, health was like a played a part in like every facet of my life. So
okay.
I think it was like very natural for me to want to learn about hair health beyond just the aesthetics of hair. It's just kind of like who I am to the core.
Yeah, that's neat. That's interesting. There's been so much more talk about hair health, I feel like, in the last few years and, scalp health, with, the pandemic, people losing their hair. And it's just a conversation that's being had more. Do you find that to be true?
Yeah, I think it's about time because traditionally, as hairstylists, when you're behind the chair, you're just teaching people to temporarily make their hair feel good,
Hmm.
using all the products and all the tools and all the tricks up your sleeves to, cover up the real issues. And
Yeah.
and so I think that no one really addressed it. No one really talked about it.
Hmm.
A lot of that was because as a hairstylist, you're not equipped to understand the root cause of scalp issues and hair thinning and hair loss and all that. And so you avoid those conversations and
Yeah.
sweep everything under the rug. And, you, like you said, you make your client feel good for that moment. And I'm so happy that now we're looking beyond the surface and starting to kind of question as we should with everything in our health. Why is my scalp acting out and why is my hair texture different than it was 10 years ago?
Yeah.
And not just accepting it as a fact. So these
Hmm.
conversations are happening because I think consumers are becoming more conscious, but
Yeah.
also the statistics are on a rise where women especially are thinning and losing hair younger and faster than ever. So you really can't avoid the fact that these conversations have to be had. So
I agree. So talk to me about when you were behind the chair. So what was your education like? I know that you are an award-winning hairstylist, and that was back in New York. Talk to me about that time in your career.
yeah, so my career started in Toronto, where my mom
Okay.
had her hair salons and hair schools, and so started that at a very very young age. Like since high
Okay.
school, I was working for her. I juggled figure skating, I juggled school, academics, university, like all of that while I did hairdressing. And I started like really young in the whole competition world of like
Okay.
the trade show competitions, the photography
Oh,
competitions, all of it.
love.
And I'm very
I feel like,
competitive.
yeah, there's a competitive theme I'm seeing here.
Figure skating will do that too. So everything's looked at like a competition. Like you just want to be challenged. You
Yeah,
constantly want to be
that's
challenged.
cool.
So I did it all. I was very, very actively involved in the hairdressing industry from a very young age.
Okay.
So I was sponsored by a celebrity hairdresser in New York City and to come to New York and work for him. And his name was
Oh,
Roy
wow.
Luck. Yeah. And he
Okay.
was just like every major celeb, politician, like everyone was this guy's client. And so it was once in a lifetime opportunity. I took it. I moved to New York and being in that environment, continued that like celebrity track.
Okay.
For the first 6 years, I worked in the salon industry when I moved to New York. I moved 13 years ago now to New
Oh,
York. I
wow.
still live here.
Oh,
Yeah.
you do?
So first 6 years was that celebrity hairdressing, working for the best salons, all the different beauty magazine awards,
Yep.
like recognized for my work. I was young and I was really hungry.
Hmm.
And I think the crazy thing is that I was so immersed in the hairdressing industry for so long at that point that I had seen so much, especially behind the chair.
Okay.
I had seen like what's happening to my clients' hair, what's happening to their scalp. I build long-term relationships where I could see, individuals going through all these journeys with their hair.
Hmm.
So it gave me a lot of deep insight into consumers and what they're going through.
So okay, you're behind the chair and you're like, I'm seeing these cycles. I'm seeing it all over the place. I need to be part of this solution. Like, when did that hit you?
Yeah, I mean, listen, like being a hairstylist is an extremely rewarding and extremely special profession, like you were mentioning, Kelly.
Yeah.
And we can't deny that, right? That's why I think some of the best people are hairstylists.
Agree.
Because in order to like uphold that role and position,
Hmm.
you really have to be a special person yourself.
Yeah.
So we're definitely going to give credit to hairstylists for how amazing they are and what they do for people. But I think at that stage, I'd been behind the chair for 17 years and I started to notice, I think it really started with the fact that the majority of people weren't washing their hair right. They had scalp
Mm.
conditions. And it was just this like repeated behavior that you're noticing. And when you aren't actually washing your hair properly or your scalp properly, not only does that lead to issues down the line, but in that moment, it's harder to manage your hair.
Sure.
You're constantly dealing with like an uncomfortable scalp and you can't style
Hmm.
it as well, and it's always acting out. And I just kept seeing this like becoming worse and worse and worse. And this was at the time where all the, blow dry bars started popping up.
Uh-huh.
Were paying to get their blowouts and were extending their blowouts. And so the scalp issue was really um, becoming so much more common. And then I think that I learned about trichology
Hmm.
and I'd heard about it and I did a deep dive into it. And I immediately knew that, this was my calling. And I was so drawn
Mm.
to it because for the first time, as a sought after expert that people
Hmm.
are flying to see, paying an arm and a leg to see, and you're supposed to provide the best service that you possibly can, especially
Right.
under Manhattan standards, which is like the strictest standards there are. I got really fed up not being able to help people
Okay.
with the root causes of what their hair issues were stemming from.
Okay.
And I think I had done that for so long that it eventually got to me. And going back to who I am at the core, I need to get to the root cause of things. I need to understand what's happening. I'm very inquisitive. I love to learn. And so trichology was love at first sight and it's
Yeah.
scientific and you never stop learning. So I basically gave my boss, Julian Farrell, who currently still has a salon in New York. He's like one of the most expensive cuts in the city. I gave him a heart attack and I said, bye,
Ah.
I gotta go. Like something is waiting for me. I gotta go. I gotta go because as much as I love hairstyling and I've had such a fulfilling career, I want to start helping people in a different way.
Okay.
And the best decision I've ever made.
Awesome. What is it like to become a certified trichologist? Like, what does it mean? Educate our audience if they're like, I don't know where to start with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, the education, the process, what does it mean? Walk me through that.
Yeah. First of all, I think it's so great for anyone in the hair industry to gain some kind of education.
Yeah.
And every trichology school or institute is different, the way that they break down their courses, but
Okay.
it usually starts with like a intro course that kind of gives you the basics and foundation about the scalp, about the hair, about the body, about the overall health, of biology of the body and how everything's connected to hair. I think that, and different scalp conditions and different, types of hair loss and all that. I think the like intro courses are great. I think every
Okay.
hairstylist, especially, should be taking something. Um, it can really help expand your understanding of hair in general beyond knowing all the tips and tricks to make it look good, just understanding where it's coming from and where it stems from. And then they have different tiers of courses depending on where you want to take your career. So if you want to be in a clinic or in studio and doing hands-on trichology services, then you go all the way through. But if
Okay.
you want to be able to understand it better and have a proper consultation with somebody and probably recommend products or kind of guide them along their journey, then you don't have to go through all the way through certification. You
Okay.
can just take like those introductory courses. And it's different. The academy, the institute that I went to is recognized by a medical association that
Okay.
recognizes your certification and makes you a board certified trichologist
I
even. So it's
see.
like another
I
level
see.
up. And yeah, it really depends what you want to do with it. But I think whether like you want to go full trichologist like I did, or you want to remain as a hairstylist, I think you should definitely be supplementing your education with that.
Awesome. That's great. Thank you for that. I didn't
Yeah.
realize that there were different levels that you didn't have to fully become certified, but you're right. Are they
Yeah.
even teaching any of this in beauty school?
I know that there were talks about incorporating more kind of scalp health and hair health.
Okay. Yeah.
It would be a lot to add on to the cosmetology
Okay.
license.
Okay.
So they could. I don't think they should.
Okay.
I think it really should be a very separate kind of institution that does that.
Okay.
It's just it's a lot. It's a lot of
Yeah.
content.
Yeah. I'm sure
So
to have that expertise. You're just diving
it
so many
is.
layers deeper. What
It
did you
is.
find that are some of the biggest factors for hair loss?
I mean, I think today what we're seeing the most is um, hormonal imbalances,
Mm,
like thyroid issues that are leading to hair thinning and hair textural changes. And that basically starts from like nutritional deficiencies and not, you know, taking good care of our diet and not having the time to be as healthy and conscious with our eating as we possibly can.
yeah.
It takes so much more for women, especially where our hair is challenged by so many different factors:
Okay.
stress, increased cortisol levels in our bodies versus men, um, you know, pregnancy, postpartum,
Hmm.
menopause, like so many stages and journeys we go through that directly affect our hair. But the number one thing that we see, and as a hairstylist, you would recognize this is your client who is like her hair is getting brittle and
Hmm.
it's experiencing diffuse hair loss. So you're noticing the thinning all over the scalp. Quality's changing. You're slowly watching it decline. In most conditions, it's hormonal imbalances and
Okay.
specifically, thyroid issues like hypothyroidism that throws off your entire system, manages your hormones, manages the way your body uses energy, your metabolism, and all that. If that's not functioning well, one, you're nutritionally deficient, and then so your hair isn't getting the nutrients that
Yeah.
it requires. Um, but I think before, like I would see that and I would just chalk it up to genetics. Like,
Yeah.
oh, it's just
Fair.
my client's losing hair because it's genetics, and look at her mom's, it's the same thing, or
Hmm.
look at other family members are going, and you don't look at it beyond that. And today by looking at the pattern of which someone's hair is thinning, I can be able to properly begin to, begin the necessary solution and treatment, because now I can understand the different patterns and what it's
Huh.
telling me. Because at the end of the day,
Interesting.
your hair is a marker of your health, and your hair is going to thin and change differently. Sometimes you will just thin in the front, and that's one thing. Other times you'll thin all over. Sometimes you just shed instantly, and then other times it's gradually happening. So
Hmm.
constant messages from what's happening internally.
Yeah.
Our hair is constantly, our hair and scalp are constantly
Hmm.
telling us what's happening internally.
It's kind of mind-blowing that these topics are just now kind of coming to the forefront, right? I mean, it seems like so basic, like inside out, here's what's happening, that there hasn't been a bigger focus on that. So thank you for that. And now I want to talk about your solution, right? Okay, so you founded Leona, which was one of the first tech-enabled hair care retail platforms, which I'm smiling because it sounds so cool. Talk to me about the inspiration behind Leona.
So as a trichologist, I do a lot of virtual one-on-ones with clients from all over the country.
Okay.
And when you do a consult, you're trying to download as much information from someone as possible so you get the full scope. Medications, history with medications,
Mm,
lifestyle, diet restrictions. You're looking at, scalp hygiene, how often they're washing their hair.
okay.
You're trying to get an understanding of their hair texture and type.
Yeah.
Do they have medium density? Do they have really fine strands? Like, you're trying to just get as much information as possible. And then with that, you're able to recommend the correct regimen of
Okay.
products and tools and devices.
Okay.
So knowing where you're coming from and knowing what you've been through, what's worked for you and what hasn't, allows me to really come up with the best protocol. So what you're
Okay.
going to wash with on a daily basis, what type of conditioner you're going to use, what are you using to exfoliate or deep cleanse your scalp with, what kind of topical are you going to be using after the shower, and what tools and devices can you use to enhance your results.
Interesting.
What Leona does is it's basically scaling that and offering that one-on-one feel through our virtual quiz.
Okay.
And it's an extremely intelligent quiz that we've worked really hard on focusing on the right types of questions to ask in order to get the info that we need to give you the best routine.
Okay.
So you go through the quiz, and it kind of helps you answer the questions too. We don't just fully rely on the consumer's knowledge, because we know that
Mm,
they don't always know how to answer things with their hair.
sure. Sure.
But we guide them through the quiz, and then we provide a recommendation of your own personalized routine. And we carry about 35 different brands from around the world. And these
Oh,
are some of the
okay.
cleanest, most effective products that are going to help you in that routine. So clean beauty, science-backed products, things that
Okay.
actually work, that we've vetted and tested. We have a cosmetic chemist that helps break down products according to the exact ingredients that are in it, the
Hmm.
molecular weight, the moisture levels, the cleansing capability, what's going to be right for your hair texture and hair type. And also things like, how often are you washing your hair? Are you a daily
Sure.
washer or are you a weekly washer? What kind of cleansing capability do you need? So you can get all that through Leona. You can see exactly what like an expert curated program would look like for you.
Cool.
And it's part of your journey. So if you start to see your scalp's acting better and it's balanced, you come back in and you can update your results and then see a new routine that you should be using now. And that's how it would be if you and I kept a relationship where I would continue to guide you. We would update your protocol along the way. So
Hmm.
it's a really great platform to help consumers through that retail
Yeah.
journey. And I highly, recommend people check it out just to see, how this kind of works, and how we're helping individuals.
So then I think that's so interesting because, we've talked to people before where it's like, use my product, use my device.
Right.
This is the solution for everyone. And it sounds like Leona is obviously highly curated and customized. How did you vet the products?
Mhm.
I bet that was a long process to make sure that you have the right tools and products out there when you take this quiz, that you're getting the efficacy on the back end.
Yeah, it's such a good question, Kelly. And we spent a lot of time. I've gotten to
Sure.
know the founders of each specific brand really
Okay.
well. Um, got a great understanding of their brand ethos and what they were trying to solve for. I
Okay.
mean, I just went for products that had great founders, were on a good mission, were
Yeah.
using best quality ingredients, had data and science backed
Yeah.
research on their ingredients and formulations, and and even with that, even if you're finding products that are made well by the right kind of people with the right intentions, you still
Mm-hmm.
have to test out the product. So we tested out
Sure.
absolutely every single product. I've been working with them for years now, so I know them inside and out. And then our cosmetic chemist was basically screening every single product to make sure that it was the cleanest but yet
Ah,
effective product.
right. Right. Right.
Ingredients that weren't harmful to the environment or your health, but we're not solving for the cleanest of the clean,
Okay.
because that's really subjective and it depends like what you're solving for. We believe in chemistry. We believe in like the blend of natural and chemistry together. But they're products that I use, products that I would, recommend to those closest to me. So definitely what I believe to be the safest and cleanest products.
Awesome. What are your favorite at-home hair protocols for like your own hair loss prevention or to ensure longevity of hair health? Do you want to out some
Yeah.
of the products?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think we're seeing a lot more coverage on the laser devices for hair
Yeah.
growth. So I
Okay.
think it's quite easily the one thing everybody should have at home is
Hmm.
some level of a low level laser therapy device. And so
Okay.
are what are considered as cool lasers, but they're real laser lights. And you apply it onto your scalp, and it through the process of photobiomodulation, which is the same process plants use to draw energy from the sun in order to
Ah.
grow. We're giving that kind of sunlight access to the follicles on our scalp
Huh.
in order to regenerate cells, to encourage cell turnover, to really kind of hack the hair growth process.
Okay.
So it's scientifically proven to work when you work with real laser. So I'm very excited about laser technology,
Okay.
and having the right real laser device at home is a game changer. I do it 3 times a week. I apply my scalp topical. I do my derma rolling on my scalp, and I
Okay.
go in with my laser, and it's like working out your follicles.
Really? Okay. I'm
Yeah.
totally checking that
Yeah, I
out.
mean, I mean, listen,
That
Kelly, you look like you have incredible hair. It's thick, it's full. I see your hairline. It's like nice and dense. Someone like
I love it.
you, yeah, but you want to maintain that,
Oh, yes, I do. I
you
mean,
know?
I do not want I think that I feel for people with hair thinning and loss because I think it would be just a terrible feeling. And you're helping solve that. I mean,
It
what
is
could
it is the worst. I think it can
yes.
really shatter someone.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah.
And the fact that there's all these different types of solutions, and I love the laser that you mentioned. I'm definitely buying one because you better believe that I put my red light device on my face every night.
Exactly. I
I
believe
don't
it.
miss a
I
beat.
believe it, Kelly. Whatever you're doing, keep it up. Believe it.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Do lasers, are they preventative or if I'm already losing, like where in the journey are the
Yeah.
lasers?
That's such a good question. Definitely for the preventative stage and the
Okay.
early reversal
Okay.
stages. So if you've had If you have bald spots that have been void of hair growth for over 5 years, that is something that is irreversible.
Okay.
But if you've gradually been thinning around the hairline, the baby hairs are getting shorter, you're starting to notice this shrinkage and miniaturization of your hair, then it's perfect for you. You can
Okay.
start to reverse some of that
Wow.
damage.
Wow.
Absolutely. And in terms of prevention, that's the biggest kind of market right now. So
Yeah.
someone like you who's in that preventative stage, you want to use the laser because in the next 10 years, we want to make sure your hair looks, if not the same, better.
Wow. All right. I mean, your hair is absolutely
Thank
fantastic.
you. Thank you.
And
We
I
do a
love
lot.
that. I love that you've got the multi-step hair care because I joke about that too with my skincare. I'm like, see you in an hour and a half.
Exactly. You're not even joking.
I'm not even joking.
I
And I
know.
actually love every moment of it. So
Same. Same. So
that's great.
it's an extension of our existing routine.
Yeah.
And that's like, I think that's the most, I mean, it's our job as professionals. If we're going to recommend anything for your
Yeah.
hair, we have to make sure people use it. And that is like
Right.
one of the greatest challenges because even behind the chair, you know that when you're recommending something, your client's most likely not using it. So it
Totally.
is our job to simplify that process for them as much as possible. And
Yeah.
what does that mean? If I'm going to expect you to use a scalp topical and you've never used something like that before, I will not just sell it to you and hope for the best. What
Mm-hmm.
I will do is I will actually imagine what your life would be like and when to incorporate that
Okay.
product into your routine. So I would
Yep.
say I'd find out the person's, habits
Yep.
and I'd say, okay, you're going to leave the topical on your counter. It doesn't go,
Don't hide it.
don't
You're
hide
gonna
it.
forget
Yeah,
about it.
exactly. You need to leave this one out. It's something you have to use 2 times a day.
Oof.
So you
Okay.
leave it on your counter, you get out of the shower, you towel dry your hair, and you immediately apply this.
Okay.
Before you go to bed, first step before you wash your makeup off, before you brush your teeth, you're going to apply your topical onto your scalp. You want to give it time to dry, you want to give it time to absorb before you put your head down on the pillow.
Okay.
So I'm like trying to ingrain this in their memory and in their routine because I fail at my job if I'm just selling you something and I'm not
Yeah.
ensuring you're
You're
going
like,
to use it.
for sure. Because you're not coming back. I'm like, I wasn't committed to the use, right? And then you're like, it was too hard. It was twice a day. So I think that's
Exactly.
smart. What are some of the common mind shift sets that you see when women experience when they begin to prioritize themselves and their, like the process and the things we're talking about? What's your experience? How do women feel when they do that?
I think that when you are recommended a routine, like
Hmm.
someone's actually provided a solution to you, multi-step from start to finish,
Yep.
from pre-shower to post-shower on non-wash days, when someone's truly kind of covered the whole program, that in itself, before they've even used anything or before they've even seen any results, that in itself is my favorite part of the process
Okay.
because you're giving peace of mind
Hmm.
and you're giving this hope and this support and guidance that will immediately change someone, will put a
Yeah.
smile on their face, will get them excited, and make them kind of forget about their worries because they
Yeah.
feel like this is being handled
Yeah. It's
when
taken
they
care of.
follow. Yes, and taken
When
care of.
hmm
When they follow the protocol and a few months down the line, their scalp's feeling better, their hair quality's
Yeah.
feeling better, they're not noticing as much shedding, they're noticing regrowth, the quality of hair is growing in differently. Like it takes a long time, but it is again our job to make sure they stick with it, that they're being
hmm
compliant, that we're encouraging them, that we're reminding them why the why is so important.
Yeah.
It's life changing, and this is
Yeah.
why it's been, um, the most fulfilling career ever is helping women through some of these tough journeys.
I love that. Okay, from a business standpoint, the Leona Way is a method and a brand, but how have you kind of balanced the creative side of your mission and then making it also a scalable platform for everyone?
So it's a scalable platform because it's open to anyone. Like anyone is welcome to take this quiz and bypass having to have a one-on-one with me. And they're able to see something that I would personally put together for them. So scaling that was really important because I could just have a website with all my favorite products on there and try to kind of categorize them, but it takes a lot more than that. And there's no way you can go and find the product that you need.
No.
So,
and where do you start? I mean, that's the thing. There's so much on the market. It's like, it's a brilliant idea, actually.
Yeah, there's so much on the market, and people just go through trial and error and waste tons of money. And to be quite honest with you, you might have the right product, but you might feel like it's not even working, or it's not the right one for you, or you're not using it properly. So I was like, how do I take what I'm doing one-on-one and scale this? And it was through this quiz, and you can't get access into the site without taking the quiz.
Okay, smart.
And that's because I want to make sure you're seeing the products that are right for you.
Yeah.
If I just open it up, I think I'm only contributing to the problem instead of actually helping people.
Yeah, I agree, because you want that high level of recommendation. And again, the market is becoming saturated. Where do you even start? I mean, I'm in the industry, and sometimes I say, I don't know where to start.
There's a new product, like a new kid on the block every single week.
Right. Or a new supplement or a new something. And you're like, I don't know if this is going to work, but I guess I'll give it 90 days. And then 90 days have passed, and then you're like, I don't know. So very smart. Very, very smart. What is next for the brand?
Yeah, we have a really exciting thing in the pipeline. I encourage everyone to follow on to learn more, but we are working on the first hair growth wellness studio in New York.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, so we want to have a space that will handle all of it. So definitely encourage you guys to follow along, and once we'll be sharing more about that, it's going to be a game changer, and it will be the one place that people can go to completely remove all worries about their hair growth and hair loss. And we want to we want to give people the peace of mind that they deserve.
Yeah, right.
And remove any kind of worries around what's happening with their hair and what the next 10 years is going to look like for them. So
yeah, that's cool. That's a really unique and interesting concept, because we have brick and mortar and places to go for many aspects of our care, right? From like physical to fitness to dermatological, but scalp health. Interesting concept. I love it.
Yeah.
Do you want to give it away what the timing of this launch is, or is it TBD?
Yeah, we're aiming for the end of 2025 to open up.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right, we'll be there. Sounds amazing.
Love it. We can't wait to have you.
Tell everyone where they can find the site.
Yeah, so the e-commerce site is called Leona, and it's called Leona because the name symbolizes a strong, brave, courageous lioness. And it's a platform specifically for women.
Okay.
And the recommendations and the questions are all geared towards women and the journeys women specifically go through. So that's Leona.
Okay.
And that is at leona.co.
Okay.
You can take the quiz and see your personalized recommendations. And then the physical space is going to be opening up under the name of Caspara.
Okay.
So Leona will be merging into Caspara, and we will be serving men and women equally. So
okay, love that. Amazing. I love that competitive side. It's still growing strong for you.
Always.
Congratulations on your success. This is incredible. Now I'm going to transition to a little something we call the Tease Quick Takes. And so I'm going to fire some questions at you and just say the craziest thing that comes to your mind.
Okay.
All right. The first one, what is the craziest styling request when you were behind the chair that you received from a celebrity or client?
It wasn't so much what to do with their hair, but they had asked me to ask their boyfriend at the time, who was also my client, a very high profile individual in New York. They asked me to ask him not to propose.
Oh my God.
So she found out he was going to propose. was not ready for it, and I don't think she wanted the relationship to go that way. So she put me in the middle of it and said, "I know he's going to propose. You need to tell him that you don't think that's a good idea because you're also, my hairstylist, and you've just got these hints and whatever." So I will never forget that, because you have to
Oh,
say that they're both my clients.
right. And it's
And
both,
so
it's gonna end bad for both in a way.
let's just say I never saw the two of them again after that.
Come
So
on, you did
of
not.
course not, because how was I supposed to navigate that?
That's,
And he was telling me, like, I'm gonna propose to her. I got this ring. She has
oh
no
God.
idea. She's gonna be so surprised. I was like, yeah, she's gonna be pissed. So I
Oh,
remember I was delicately trying to balance that, but it didn't end well for them. So neither one of them came back to me.
yeah, that's fair. That's
Yeah,
real tricky.
that's
Okay,
why.
that's a first. All right. Okay, what is your go-to song, playlist, or podcast to listen to when you're working? Like you're in the zone, I put it on. What is it?
Yeah. Um, okay, when I'm working and I'm in the zone,
Yeah.
for me, it's like chill house music.
Okay.
I need uplifting like
Yeah.
energy. I need like good vibes, but chill so that I'm not like more
Yeah.
anxious than I get. So something that like keeps the energy going, but keeps me calm and
Okay.
focused.
I like it. Great. What bucket list item do you most want to check off in the next 6 months or year? And I think it might be what you just talked
Yeah,
about.
it's like I can't think of anything else. The bucket list is definitely listen, I mean, my mother had hair schools and hair salons and had
Yeah,
physical spaces, and for me, I thought my inevitable trajectory was opening up my own salon or opening up my own space,
sure.
and everything has been so virtual for me for the past like 6, 7 years,
Hmm.
that with my own clients anyways, but
Hmm.
that I'm just so hungry to come back
Yeah.
to the face-to-face service providing world.
Yep.
So being able to have a physical space and reconnecting with consumers, that's on my bucket list.
All right. You're moving towards it.
We are.
All right. What is a current social media trend that you just don't understand?
Oh my God, there's so many crazy like
I
hair
know.
trends that drive me bonkers, because it's just we're just churning out new stuff, right? Like
Yeah.
anything new will just pick up traction because it's like people have never seen it before. I think one of the craziest ones that drove me mad was the hair cracking or the scalp popping trend.
Oh my God. That was off the oh God, I
Yeah. So
forgot.
for,
Off
for
the
those
charts.
of for those of you that don't know what that is, that's where
Mm-mm.
like you would rapidly pull individual strands of hair out of your head, so you would hear that crackling or
Oh,
popping sound. And that's
it's
basically
too
like
much.
yanking a hair out of its follicle, and it was being promoted as stress relieving or even like stimulating for hair growth, like just nonsense. And all that's doing is causing trauma to the follicle, because if the
Right.
follicle is not ready to come out and you're pulling it out, to wrong stage. It's not supposed to come out at
Oh,
that point. So yeah, I thought it was just wild. And some people struggle from like real hair pulling disorders. Like
right. I mean,
trichotillomania is
that's
is a real like mental health issue. And the fact that that went viral, which is technically a version of it, I thought was insane,
bad stuff.
and really tone deaf. But
I'm with you on
we
that.
just wait for it to pass, and it did, thank goodness. So
Oh, okay. If you could have an unlimited supply of one thing for the rest of your life, what would you pick?
of anything.
Yeah. I mean, it could be food, it could be a product, it could be, yeah, something you
Okay.
consume or like you
Okay, this is
use.
easy
Yeah.
because I have it on like subscribe. So
The Burt's Bees, tried and true. Dang. But
the
is it
tinted
that? It's
chapstick, the tinted lip balm by Burt's Bees. Ugh.
seriously, what color? Because I have one at my desk
Yeah,
and it's the red-ish one, but that looks pinky.
it's pink blossom,
Oh God. Okay.
and it's just the perfect like amount of kind of blushiness.
Yeah, it's beautiful. I mean, you're
So
very beautiful.
you're so sweet. Thank you. I have 1,000 of these around my home. They're everywhere. They literally are everywhere. There's It's at like grabbing distance anywhere I am. It's in the kitchen, like utensil drawer. It's by the door. It's on my desk. It's in every pocket of every jacket. It's in every single purse I
Oh my
own.
God. Holy shit. This should be a Burt's Bees sponsored episode.
I know. It should be. I think it's the best. It's moisturizing and it's obviously clean and it just gives me enough color and it doesn't dry my lips out.
Okay. And Burt's Bees, what is the color again? Pink Blossom?
Pink Blossom Tinted Lip Balm.
Okay. I'll be right on Amazon after this for that.
Yes. You buy 2 at a time.
Okay. I might need more than 2.
Well, that's why I have it on the auto subscribe.
Do you ever actually run out of one though?
I do.
Oh, wow. Okay. This
I know.
is dedication.
I know. I do. No, that's how much I use it. They actually get used up.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
I love that. Because sometimes I don't want to put on like lip gloss and all that jazz. It's just like
Exactly. It doesn't look like I have anything on either. It really just looks like a tint.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. Dang. Okay. I learned so much.
There you go.
Now I'm going to be consuming and going to the website to check out. I need to do that. I'm going to do the quiz. I do need a device. We're going to add it to our list of things we do at night. Turning 46 hit hard. It hit hard for me.
When was that?
Just a couple weeks ago.
Really? When was your birthday?
February 9th.
Oh my God, I'm the 15th.
Oh, wow. I love a February gal.
Yeah, definitely. I love my Aquarius gals.
Same. There's something about February. It ignites me. I don't know. But anyway,
I feel you.
It's happening.
Yeah, I know.
To the world.
What's your like overall mission with the teas, Kelly?
Yeah, honestly, it's really to elevate the professionals. So my mom was a stylist and salon owner for 40 years. And so I grew up in the back of her salon. And I think, throughout the pandemic, before the pandemic, then pandemic, it's just like, I feel like our industry doesn't get enough cred. And there's so many opportunities out there, from like editorial to working with a brand to an educator to behind the chair to running a salon to inventing a product, right?
Yeah.
And I just feel like all these stories and voices need to be amplified and brought to the table. We want everyone from your guidance counselor to your grandfather to know that this is a viable industry to be in, and one that you can be wildly successful with a lot of freedom. And so that's the mission: bring the voices forward, making sure that we're talking to everyone out there and really elevating the professional. Well, thank you so much for joining me today. This has been a true pleasure. We've learned so much. Hope everyone out there is now far more educated on the topic.
Yeah, thank you, Kelly, so much for having me. I loved your questions, and I hope that this did inspire and help, professionals in any way, just becoming the best versions of themselves, and to not forget that that's our job, to go all the way with our clients. But yeah, I encourage everyone to follow me on Instagram at Shab Hair Expert if you want to connect, and DM me, shoot me a message. Let me know you heard this podcast. I'd love to hear from you guys. And Kelly, it was really great to meet you. Thank you.
Thank you. You too. Thank you.
So what is the thing that you're still thinking?
Add to cart. The hair red light. And I need to talk to her. I need to message her on Instagram and be like, which one? Because Jeff, at night we've been over the Omnilux and I'm here with it on. I might as well just be brushing my scalp.
Just keep going. Let's have you do that and then drop some links, because I'm peaked, interested.
And when you're peaked, it might show up in your mailbox.
I was gonna say it'll be with you first, and you'll test it out, and then we'll see.
If I can get hair like hers, holla fucking luya. I'm doing it. All right. Be sure to hit subscribe, rate, and review, and follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and TikTok at Read the Tease, and send in questions to volumeup@thetease.com.
Volume Up is a Tease Media production. This episode was produced by Mana Hickey and Madeline Hickey. James Arbaje is our editor and audio engineer. Thank you to our creative team for the custom Volume Up theme song and for putting together the graphics and videos for this episode.